about it, y'all. We're going to ask God tonight what we need. Come on. Jesus is on y'all, the main line. Tell God what you want. Come on, y'all.
Jesus is on
Yes, he is.
the main line.
Come on and tell
Tell him what you want.
Can I get it, y'all?
Jesus is on
Come on,
the
y'all.
main line.
You know you got to
Tell him what you want.
Yeah.
Call him up
And
and tell him what you want. What you want.
if you sick tonight and can't get well, tell God what you want. Yeah.
You sick,
Can't get well. You know you got to do
tell
it.
him what you want.
Yeah.
You sick,
Come on,
you
y'all.
can't get well.
You know you got to do it.
Tell him what you want.
Yeah.
Call him up and tell him what you want. What you want.
If you need the Holy Ghost, tell God what you want. Come on, y'all.
If you need
You need
the
it.
Holy Ghost,
You know what you need.
tell him what you want.
Yeah.
If you need
Come on,
the
y'all.
Holy Ghost,
You know what you got to do.
tell him what you want.
All you got to do.
Call him up
Yeah.
and tell him what you want. What you want.
If you need a little more power, y'all, tell God what you want.
If you need
Come on,
a
y'all.
little more power,
Yeah.
tell him what you want.
Yeah.
If you need a little more power, tell him what you want.
Yeah. Don't be ashamed.
Call him up
Yeah.
and tell him what you want.
Come on, y'all. Don't be
What
ashamed.
you want.
Well, call it.
Call him
Come on,
up
y'all.
and tell him what you want.
Come on, church.
Call him up
You know what you
and
got to
tell
do
him what
tonight.
you want.
Come on and call it.
Call him up
Yeah.
and tell him what you want.
You can call it
Call him up
in the
and
midnight
tell him
hour.
what you want.
Call him in the daytime.
Call him up
He'll be
and
right
tell
there.
him what you want.
You know what you got to do
Call
tonight.
him up
Come on and
and
call
tell
him.
him what you want.
Come on and call my Jesus.
Call him up
Call him back.
and
Tell
tell
him.
him what you want.
I believe I'm a call him.
Call him up
Yeah.
and tell him what you want.
Anybody want to call him?
Call him
Yeah.
and tell him what you want.
Anybody want to call him?
Call him up
Come on and
and
call
tell
him.
him what you want.
I believe I'm going to call
Call
him.
him up
I believe I
and
called
tell
him.
him what you want.
Yeah.
Call him up
Yeah.
and tell him what you want.
Yeah.
Call Jesus.
Come on, y'all.
Call Jesus.
Anybody want to call him?
Call Jesus.
I know you out there.
Call Jesus.
Somebody out there.
Call Jesus.
You know you need to call him.
Call Jesus.
Come on and call him.
Call Jesus.
Come on and call him.
Call Jesus. Call him up
Yeah.
and tell him what you want.
It don't matter
Call him up
what time you
and
call
tell
him.
him what you want.
Call him in the morning.
Call him up
He'll be right
and tell
there.
him what you want.
If you got a problem,
Call him up
he'll be right
and tell
there.
him what you want.
You need to call him.
Call Jesus. Call Jesus.
You need to call him.
Call Jesus.
You need to call him.
Call Jesus.
Somebody tonight.
Call
You
Jesus.
know who you are.
Call
You
Jesus.
need to call him.
Call Jesus.
You need to call him.
Call Jesus.
I feel I call him.
Call Jesus.
Lord, I need you.
Call Jesus.
Lord, I need you. Lord.
Call Jesus.
Hey,
Call Jesus.
call him on up.
Call Jesus.
Call him up.
Call Jesus.
Call him up.
Call Jesus.
Call him up.
Call Jesus.
Call him.
Call Jesus. And tell him what you want.
This time we're going to change the order of service and turn it over to Sister Rose. Let's give her a heart amen as she comes.
Good to be here. The Lord is good. He continues to bless us no matter what. Okay. Thank you. I'll appreciate this in the morning when I wake up, though I don't like it. Yes. Wanda gave me strict rules. She said, now when we do that, you don't say nothing, you just move. All right, Mother, I'll see if I can do that. Yes. I want to say thanks to all the children, the little cards I got today for Christmas and their little money they put in there. That's so sweet of them. I just like to give them all a big hug, but not tonight. And I'm thankful for all those that gave cards and wrote notes to me in the cards. That's all those words, they go so far. But I said to Barbara today, I called her, Barbara McKenzie, I said, what you said went completely to my soul. The words of appreciation. And said it so beautiful. But I said, I think sometimes we don't realize how human leaders are. And somebody can say a word. See, I'm always giving a word. So I don't get many words from people because they never stay before God long enough to get one. But I appreciate the genuineness and the touch. It touched my soul. Sometimes you're busy doing things and you're not even thinking about the fact that you're not even, nothing's coming back sometimes. I ain't talking about things, I'm talking about thank you, praise you. I appreciate June and her words tonight. They mean a lot. And I am thankful that God cares about his people. Yes, he does. And all the things that I've been through, are still happy. Still got joy. No matter how difficult it is, he is there to lift you up, to encourage you, to strengthen you. I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. This is a great life. David called me today and he said, Mama, because they said, we're not getting our hopes built up this time. Every holiday we say, maybe this one. Maybe that one. Well, I never stopped saying maybe this one. And he said, Mom, I feel like the Lord checked me on that. Don't say you're not going to expect me. Even if he don't tell me that. I said, so true. He said, I repented. I told the Lord, I didn't mean no harm. I just didn't want to get my hopes up. Get it up. Because I'm telling you, if he didn't come today, look for him tomorrow. If he didn't come then, look for him next week, but look for him. Expect something from God every day. It may not be quite what you want, but keep expecting. You may not even thought to ask him for it, because God already knows what we need before we ask him. I am grateful to him for all that he's doing, for how he's proven himself. We are living in such a unbelievable time when people are, their minds is so far, as I said this morning, preoccupied with things, situations, people. Let your mind stay on him, because he is the reason that we're here today. Don't get concerned about all this stuff, but more concerned about where I stand with God. It means everything. I am so appreciative of what he has done for me over the years and taught me many things. Brenda says she learned a lot. She didn't apply it, but she learned a lot. You got to apply it. And Jean, thank you also for the beautiful words that you put in your card. Because you're a quiet man. You don't say much. You just kind of smile, but the words were real and they were good. Thank you so much. There's so many ways in which to say something. Sometimes even though it don't take a lot, just say, I love you. I know I'm loved. I know that. I don't feel a void for love, but I think we need to say it more often before people check off this planet. Say, I love you. Or you wish you had. Take a moment and say, thank you for everything you've done for me. Thank you for the words of encouragement. Thank you for the reproof and the rebuke. You don't like to thank him for that, but thank him for it. Oh, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be in this place. As I was up in prayer the other night, I guess the Lord is changing my prayer time, because I wake up almost 1:30 every time, no matter how I go to sleep. And I said to Lisa this morning, I said, what does it mean to be exhausted? And she told me all the things, that everything I got. I said, but it never deters me from spending time with God. Because when you don't have nothing else going on, you still got you and God's going on. And my life is so rich. I am so blessed. I am grateful to him. It's okay if you wake me up at 1 o'clock. I don't think you made a mistake. I don't look at the clock and say, what time is it? No. Time to talk to God. Sometimes I may go on all the way to 5 o'clock in the morning. And then I get real sleepy. And I think I'm going to lay back down and get me some sleep. And then sometimes I start praying again. Then I get back up. I said, Lord, give our people a mind to pray. Let them know the importance of it. It makes you better than ever. It just gives you this feeling of satisfaction, of peace, happiness, joy. We all need it. If you could get the church to pray, they'll start for a while and they'll stop. They'll start for a while and stop. No, you need to continue. And this is important. God has been too good to us for us not to take a moment. I heard that lady say today, George Meyer said, people, it's not about how long you pray. It ain't about what you say. Because I had to focus myself for 10 minutes before I came to teach you. 10 minutes. That's why you ain't got nothing. But everything else says you ain't got it. And you took 10 minutes and you're bragging about it? It takes more than 10 minutes with God. Don't let nobody tell you that. Yeah, sure you can have a good prayer in 10 minutes, but it's going to take more than that. And so the more the leaders tell people that you don't really have to do all this, they're glad about that. They don't want to pray anyway. I thought it's a tragedy. It's tragic. But if you ever fall in love with him, and hopefully you will, it makes all the difference in the world. What's going on in your life today. This is a great life. I don't care what nobody says. You may not be enjoying it. The Bible says the way of the transgressor is hard. I'm not transgressing, so it ain't hard for me. I'm having a great time, and you can have it too. And Mike, if you keep coming, after a while, you're going to be running around this church, jumping just like everybody else. Yeah. It's so good to have you here. Yes. Oh. I'm reading from the 26th Psalms. Father, we love you tonight because you've been so good. Nobody ever loved us like this. Thank you for grace and mercy. Thank you, God. Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for caring when nobody else cared. Thank you, God, because you never left me alone. Over all these years, God, you've been so good, so mindful of all my needs, no matter what they are. Thank you tonight for being God. I pray that you would cause your people to think, to search deep within themselves and say, I need to deal with this. I need to deal with me. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen and amen. Yes. David said in the 26th chapter, judge me, O Lord, for I have walked in mine integrity. I have trusted also in the Lord, therefore I shall not slide. Think about that. I'm not going to be slipping up. Then he says, examine me, O Lord, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart. Listen to this, how he put this. He says, judge me. Even though I walked in my integrity, I have trusted also in the Lord, therefore I shall not slide. Then he says, examine me, check me, prove me who I am. Because you sometimes say that's who you is. You're not that person. Let's go down deep inside and begin to just open it all up and deal with who we are and put it before God and say, Lord, here I am. Examine me. Check me out. Everybody needs an examination, even in the natural, but spiritually speaking, we need to examine ourselves. David said, Lord, you examine me. Not only do you examine me, but I need to examine me. I need to check. I need to be honest with myself. We got too many people that's not honest with themselves. You can't be honest with God when you ain't honest with you. Be honest. Look at yourself and say, you know what? I don't like this. This is not a beautiful picture. But Lord, I ask you to make it right. But don't cover it up. Don't lie about it. Don't put it over to the side and act like, well, you know, I'm not going to worry about it. You need to be concerned where you're at. You need to check yourself not once a year. You need to check yourself every day, every moment of the day. Where am I? Why am I not looking into myself, seeing what's going on within me? While you spending all your time on finding fault with somebody else, look at you. Take a moment, because God ain't going to judge you by nobody else. He's going to judge you by you. So I need to say, Lord, examine me. He said, he first says, I walked in my integrity, but then he said, examine me. Prove me. To try my reins and my heart. Try me. See where I'm at. Don't have all this garbage in there. Because if you die the next moment, without a doubt, you're going to lose your soul. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to do what's right. I need to check up on me. You know what? If you check up on yourself, you don't have time to be checking up on nobody else. It'll take all that time while you're picking me to death and looking at this and looking at that. You better look at you. Well, see, I got it. I know where I'm at. I don't lie to myself. I am honest with God and honest with myself. Lord, look at me. If there's anything that I didn't see, touch me. Cleanse me. For every day I ask you to look at me. Let me look at me. Take a good look. You don't go by what people say. You go by what the word says you are. That's where it's happening at. Think about it. Well, I looked up the word examine. It says to inspect closely. People inspect at a distance. They're scared of what you might find. I was going to ask Cliff this. On the National Geo, it has these monkeys sometimes, and they pour it in the hair like this. And the other monkey just sitting there like a little kid. And it's just getting the stuff out. What is he doing? He's doing what? Isn't that something? We ought to be picking the bugs and ticks off of us. That's the truth. I always like that. It seems so motherly to me. And the baby just sits there. And she continues to pour out the hair out. I thought, God, you got to examine yourself closely. See where you at. You got to understand this. Lord, I want to know if I look in here and something ain't right, I'm getting ready to get it right. I'm not going to push it to the side. I'm not going to justify it. I'm going to deal with it. You need to deal with who you are. You need to quit saying, it ain't me. No, deal with you. Because the minute I talk to somebody and they say something, I'm thinking, no. It's not true. Look at yourself. I see you. God, let me see you. But you better see you. That's important. Very important. So it says it's to inspect closely, to test the condition, to inquire into carefully, to test by questioning in order to determine progress, fitness or knowledge, to interrogate closely. Keep asking the question. Ask yourself that. And then answer it right. I don't care how bad it is. I don't care how ugly it is. You're going to score with God when you look at yourself and say, I'm not right. Something in here is not right. If I ever come in this church and you look at me like this, ain't nothing wrong with me. Something's wrong with you. I don't have no issues with nobody. I got one thing to do, tell you the truth and move on. I don't have time to stew over it and all this stuff. So when you look at me like, especially when we having meetings, I don't care whether you like what I say. I have a job to do. And what I'm supposed to do is try to help you to get into the kingdom by correcting you. So that you understand this is not about giving you a difficult time. In fact, it's about helping you to come out. Come out. Be free. Examine also has a word called scrutiny. To examine closely, minutely. You know minutely? That's the tiniest thing. Don't we skip over all these things and say we're going to go down in there, get to this. There's one piece here. No matter how small it is, it will keep you out of the kingdom. Don't you dare for a minute try to think God's going to step over it, because he's not. So, give it close attention. You know, you should say at the end of the day, while you're laying at home tonight, say, if you said something, why did you say that? If you did something, if you looked at somebody wrong, why did you do that? I used to do that all the time when I was a new convert. At the end of the day, I said, Lord, I had to think back over my life, and I wasn't a very nice person. So I had to look over my life and said, Lord, you know what? I said that for the wrong reason. Please forgive that. I go to the next thing. Lord, you know, I've been this way all my life, and I don't like it. Move that. All these things, little bit by little bit by little bit. You got to be honest with God and say, take it from me. Take this away from me. You know what? If you really wanted to go, it goes. If I hadn't asked God 50 plus years ago, some people ain't made no progress. They still crazy. They still out left somewhere. They're all mixed up. Ain't nothing changed. Something ought to change for you. You ought to see some growth, spiritual growth. I'm growing now. I'm in a better place. I see the time this would have affected me or that would have affected me. Not anymore. Where are you at? Where are you at? While this message is going forth tonight, listen to this. Give close attention. And I preached that message about detail. That's what we've been out on. Oh, details? That's getting way down here. We don't want to get there. See? It's time for the church to have a spiritual examination. Check your mind. Check how you think in the course of a day. Think how you feel about somebody. Have an open heart and an open mind. I just love you, Jesus. The more you love him, the more cleansed you will become. The more you love him, the better you're going to feel. You don't have to explain nothing and go through a whole bunch. Yo, it's all good. It's all good. You know, Job, though he went through many things, didn't understand why God was putting him through it. But you know what? He went back over his life. He says, I never did this. I helped the widow. My hand was to those that couldn't help themselves. He thought about it. You can say that about yourself. You know. He knew who he was, but I'm still trying to understand what all this is going on. Because I don't know what I've done wrong. If I've wronged somebody, God didn't tell me. But if I haven't, I got to look into this situation and say, you know what is this? So Job concluded when he said, he knows the way that I take. I don't understand it. I haven't done anything wrong as far as I know. I've tried to do the right thing. The Bible called him a perfect man. God said, my Job is perfect. If God calls perfect, my God, you ain't got nothing to worry about. If you call something perfect, I wouldn't believe it. I got to look at this. I've got to check this out. Where am I at? What should I be doing right now? What should I be thinking? Where am I going with my life if I wake up a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 or 5 years later, and I'm still at the same place. You ain't done no examination, because when you examine, you find what's wrong, you take it out. You take it out. See, we need to be so open with God. And you know what? It's crazy to me. He knows you anyway. Why you spend your time trying to justify who you are? He knows you. He knows where you're at. He knows how you feel. When you're talking to me, he's looking at you. Take a look. I am going to deal with me no matter what it takes, because at the end of the day, I want to be saved. When it's all said and done, I just want to be saved. And you can be. So I look at this and I am thinking, God, help your people. You're not going to check yourself if you don't pray, though. You won't do it. See, I want you to see what God sees. Say, Lord, how do I look to you? How do I look to God? Not just about me, because you may tell a lie in a minute, but God, how do I look to you? I get a lot of praise from people, and most of it I don't pay attention to, but I said, Lord, I don't know how you feel. Yeah, people can say this and say that, but Lord, what do you see? How do I stand in your presence? I got to be sure of that. More than anything in this world, oh my God, I can't even imagine lying to myself about me or anybody for that matter. Come on. So I'm going to check this. I'm going to check it. When you come in today, how'd you feel? Sometimes you can't get right because you ain't never dealt with you. Once I deal with who I am, because people say a lot of things because they sound good. Politically correct. But what's wrong inside that I'm not dealing with? Take a moment and say, you know what? I'm not going to make no excuse, Sister Rose. If I come to you and say, I'm not going to make an excuse. Here I am. If I ask you a question, it is because something is there. If I ask you, I'm not just asking. Something's wrong with you. So deal with that. Speak to it. They don't want to say something. Don't let me forget to pray for that baby tonight before I leave. I thought, when I called him this afternoon to say, somebody went back there and told her to bring the baby up for prayer. I said it needs prayer. What? I called on the phone, she says, I don't know what's going on. I said, do you speak English? You understand it? It says, take the baby up for prayer. What is there to understand? That's because I don't want to deal with it. Deal with it. Look at it and say, you know what? I need to do something about this. Instead of making excuses for, I didn't even know what was going on. Yes, you did. Take the baby up for prayer, baby. That's not complicated. That's clear if we understand English. You shouldn't have if something is wrong with your child, would you not give it to Jesus and say, Lord, fix it? Fix it. You already know how difficult life can be if God don't fix it. Lord, I need you to help me with this. It's sad that babies are born and pick up your DNA. Because you need your DNA snatched out, put in a garbage can. So if I'm going to, it's sad these kids got to pick up on this stuff. The parents, sometimes grandparents, sometimes further down the line, and sometimes daddy, sometimes mama. If you see you and your kid and it ain't good, rush it to Jesus. And say, Lord, change this. No, I'm not coming up there. Why not? Do you care about your kid? Yes, nobody would have to ask me. I've been saying, Sister Rose, can I bring my baby up? No, pride. Pride's a horrible thing. I ain't got no pride. Just take it up there to Jesus and let him do something with that kid. Wow, there is hope for him. Don't wait till it's too late, because she's as moody as they get. You want to come over and tell me about it all the time? Mama, that baby's so moody. And you ever say, you know, most babies, if you kind of play with them and say, "Coo, gee." And I say, like, what do you want? Like, I don't have time. All this stuff is being manifested in kids at an early age, and parents never pay attention to it. I gotta say, Lord, take out of her what don't need to be there. She's getting ready to go into a very difficult life. She ain't gonna have no real friends. Because it's like, oh, you wanna go over there? She changed on you anytime. One time you're talking to Janie, the next time you're talking to Jean, the next time you're talking to Mary. You don't know what's there. If you see this in your child, let's act on it. But I think we lie to ourselves as parents. Y'all lie to yourself as parents. I don't lie about nothing. It is what it is. People looked at me oftentimes, it's like, she really said that about her kids? Yeah. You should say it about yours. I had some cute babies and I had some ugly babies. Yes. And I kind of wonder, where did you come from? And people look at, she said that about her kid. I'm about truth. I'm not going to brag and make all this stuff about, isn't he cute? No. Be honest with yourself. Everything you see ain't cute. I don't know if you've seen that thing where my dear was on the thing. She looked out the baby. She said, ugly little thing. Tell the truth, an ugly little thing. We have to deal with the truth, no matter who it is or where it's at. Is it true? I went to the hospital when Daisy had vet. That was the ugliest baby. She was born with an afro. I'm trying to figure out what's the baby doing with an afro. I mean, black babies have straight hair for a while. And then it began to go home and turn back and turn back and turn back. But this one is born with this. And she says to me, Rose, isn't she cute? I said, that baby's ugly. Let's tell the truth. Shame the devil, that mother, whatever that mother says. Tell the truth. You know what's wrong with us? We don't like to deal with anything we think might be offensive. Truth is going to offend you if you don't want it. But if you want it, it'll bless your life and change your life. Get off of it. Yes. People are so accustomed to people lying. They're so used to lying. You know what? You can get in a habit of lying and never focus on it. Why am I lying about that? Why don't I tell the truth? It didn't spoil me and Daisy's friendship. I don't remember that. But I was on my little girl. All my kids was born with beautiful hair. And David still has really pretty hair. And when Lisa was a baby, I think she was maybe 8 or 9 months old. Maybe a little bit older. And I thought, I'm going to have to take the straightening comb and try to pull this out a little bit. So Nisi said, holding her ear, don't burn my ear, Mama. Don't burn my ear. I said, I'm not going to burn your ear. We just got to put some of this colored folks stuff in place. I said, Lord gave us all this kinky hair, wide lips, and big noses. We can't change all that, but some things we can change. Made her a pretty ponytail. She looks so pretty. But we shouldn't be offended. If someone says, is this your kid? Yeah. Oh, he's ugly. They say, I said, I'm polite. Oh, my God, what were you thinking? I was just thinking it's really ugly. That's what I was thinking. Surely I understand we can't be that blunt with everybody. But people that know us should know we don't mean no harm. We really care. We're interested in you. But don't lie about it. Deal with the truth. The truth is the hardest thing for people to take. And I find more and more people don't want it. He said the time would come. They wouldn't endure sound doctrine. They'll heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears. I want somebody to tell me I'm okay. You know how many people have been made a fool of because somebody told them they were good looking and beautiful, the greatest thing I ever seen. You are what I've been looking for all my life. Look in your mirror. Don't believe what he says. Be honest with each other. The biggest damage you can do in a marriage is dishonesty. We are not leveling with each other. We're not really saying what we feel. Put it on the line. This is the way it looks. This is how I feel. And don't try to make excuses for it. I had more fun with my daughters, with Daisy, other friends. Have a lot of fun with them. They're all different. Daisy is so different from me. He said, Mom, how did y'all become friends? Opposites attract. That's the only conclusion I reached. Because we're so not alike. And yet we've been friends for years. Sarah, oh God. I love Sarah to death. But there's some things, Sarah, I'm thinking, are you dense? You didn't see that? Bro, I don't know. And then I think sometimes, how did we become friends? I guess because I wanted to the Lord, that's probably it, Sarah. But Sarah's a fun girl. She really is. Daisy is too. Daisy do some crazy things, but she's... Yeah. But you know what I watch? I watch people that are given the truth and how they respond to it. How did you respond? Thank you. I didn't even know that. I hadn't recognized that. Thank you for seeing that and telling me so I can make a change. Thank you. I'm not going to give you a hard time. Thank you. People that get mad with me about the truth, you are going to stay mad until you get to hell. That's the truth. Because I'm never going to change it. Because that's my job. Once God ordained me to speak the truth to people, that I got to do it. Paul said, woe be unto me if I don't preach the gospel, if I don't tell you what's right and wrong. Listen. If you want to have a good relationship with God, you're going to have to be honest. I've told these preachers that. I've told people that year after year, you got to be in a place, you got to be honest. Honest with me, honest with yourself, honest with God. Lord, I just got to deal with this. If you, a lady in our church, she was a very stupid woman, but she was in the ministry in Germany, Gilda. And she didn't like the fellowship leader, Marv and Sandy. They was the one over the service who I took over after they left, but she didn't like them for no reason. And she invited them over to dinner. Well, if you don't like me, I'm not going to eat your chicken. What's in it? You don't like me, but you're going to invite me to sit down and eat your chicken? I'm going to say I can't make it. Something is wrong with that. She invites them over, and while they're in the middle of eating, she says, I never did like y'all. And here's what she said, Rose, I just had to let it out. I said, Gilda, you should not have done that. They're sitting at your dinner table. They're your guests, and you're telling them how much you don't like them. I've never liked either one of you. But she was mental anyway, so you could allow for something like that. But I'm saying, honesty, not stupid. There's a difference in stupidity and honesty. You just don't do anything. You have to use some tact. But you got to get the truth out there. Sometimes I go to people and I tell them the truth about something, and there's some more things I need to say, but they ain't gonna be able to. They're gonna choke on it. So I wait. I said I can't give them that. One said to me sometimes, Mama, did you tell them about the rest? I said they ain't ready for it. I just gave them the first piece, cut out a little slim piece, and said, hey, have a little bit of this. They don't like it, but they can swallow it. You know what? This is what you should say to the Lord. Anytime I'm told the truth about anything, I'm going to say thank you so much. I'm not going to try to debate it. Truth don't need a debate going on. It is what it is, and it's not going to back up because you don't like it. Just deal with it. Yeah, it can be tough, but take it. It makes your life full and rich and exciting. I thought about Mona came to church, this is Friday night, and Yolanda was sitting on the back pew, and she said, how did it feel to you? You've been sitting up here for 20 years or longer. She said, I'd rather be on this back pew than out that door. At least I'm still getting the word. At least hopefully there's hope for me. I ain't making them few steps out that door. Could just take it, quit lying. Just take it. You got it, ain't you? You really got it because you want to eat after church, don't you? That boy said, I got it. No trouble, I got this. I said, get on the fast, don't eat till I tell you. You don't like to hear those words. My son-in-law, Cliff, was on a fast. I put him on a fast so long, I forgot he was on there. And I was on vacation. He called me. He said, Mom, he said, okay if I eat? I said, eat? I forgot all about it. Because, see, I'm not going to remember it unless I'm fasting. I'm not. So he says, okay if I eat? I said, well, yeah. I said, how long you been going? He said, no. I said, why do you want to eat? Cliff said, it's 21 days. I said, oh, yeah, you'll be okay. Go ahead. Usually if you get people on a fast, you can tell them anything. They say, yes, ma'am. Especially if it's contingent upon you letting me eat. Is there anything else that you need to do? Yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You don't get no fight out of a hungry person. Take their beans and potatoes away. And so you go on a fast, I'm getting ready to tell you some truth. Oh, no, Sister Rosa, I can take it. I don't have to go on a fast. They don't want to go on that fast. I can take it. But you'll be a lot better if you're hungry. And I said, so whenever I tell you to eat, I'll get back to you. I mean, that boy's loud over here tonight. I got it. Yeah. I feel you, baby. I feel you. I really feel you. See, if I can get people not to get mad, don't get mad at me because, see, it doesn't change me. No matter how mad you get with me, it's not going to change anything. It is what it is. And God says, I'm going to make you a different person when you take this. It's not going to feel good, but take it. You're going to feel better. And you know what I found out? What makes truth easy to take? If while the person is telling you the truth, you say, you know that's the truth. All that bad stuff the devil want to put in there and these walls, whatever, he don't win. Because you say, that's the truth, Sister Rose. Okay, yes, I'll do that. That's the truth. You know, more I think about that, it is so true. That person has a lot better time. But the one that's already saying, here you come again, what is it now? No. God said, I'm trying to get you to look inwardly at who you are. Not outside, inwardly. What's in here? Where am I at? You know what? Sometimes you cannot have a good prayer life. No, never have a good prayer life unless you come into his presence with honesty. This is who I am. I want to change. I don't like. Say it to God. You ain't about to tell me, tell him. Then I'll never have to come to you. I thought about Curtis Phillips the other day when the Lord sent me to him about something he was doing. The boy got so mad, he said, God told you. I was hoping he never told you that. That makes me shame. He was mad. I said, you don't tell God what to tell his leader? You stupid idiot. Are you kidding me? Listen. I received that. Boy, I like those words. I rarely get them, but I like them. I received that. I don't fight you on it. Even if it's not crystal clear to me, I receive that. Because I know she's not lying to me. I know she's not going to tell me a lie. I know she's not trying to make me feel bad. I know that. Since I know that, I'm going to receive this. Because she's all about my good. That's what she's about. She's trying to help me to stay on the straight and narrow path. And yes, listen to me. I'm not trying to hurt you. Listen what happened. It says, the same day that Pilate and Herod were made friends together, for before they were at enmity between themselves. They didn't get along at all until this thing came up about Jesus. And he says, and Pilate, when he had called together the chief priests and the rulers and the people, said unto them, ye have brought this man unto me as one that perverteth the people. And behold, I have examined him before you, have found no fault in this man, touching those things whereof ye accuse him. I find no fault. No, nor yet Herod, for I sent you to him, and lo, nothing worthy of death is done unto this man. He says, I will therefore chastise him and release him. You didn't even need to do that. For of necessity he must release one unto them at the feast. Pilate's getting ready to send him down to Herod, and he said, I don't find no fault in him. Don't you know we ought to live our lives that the only way a person can say you got a fault is that you tell a lie. I'm not going to live in a place of fault. I need to walk it right every day so that people do not have an excuse to do wrong. They don't have an excuse to say, I don't have to hear that. Listen to it. Listen to it. So he said, I find no fault in him. Why are you doing this? I'm going to chastise him and release him to you. Why are you whipping me? When I did nothing. You can't find any fault in me. But I'm going to whoop you anyway and let you go. Every Christian ought to live their lives in a place where I find no fault. That people can look at you and say, I don't know of anything that she done to any person ever in her lifetime that was bad. She loved people. I'm talking about this me. She loves people. She'll tell you the truth, and then she'll pick you up and help you. Sister Rose mad? Mad? No! Here! The chicken stinks. Put it in the garbage. When we get through with it, let's go get another chicken and share. Yeah. Go all these places. If you know my life, if you know me well enough, you know I'm not mad at you when I come to church after I told you the truth. If I was that way, I couldn't be a leader. I couldn't do it. Not mad at anybody. Here it is. This is what truth is. And people walk around looking funny at me, I'm thinking it's over. I said what I need to say. Connie, go ahead and have fun. Go on. I'm done. I ain't going to argue with you, nothing. I'll be just as kind. I have done this all the time. Talk to people on the phone, tell them where they're wrong at, and they couldn't talk for the rest of the conversation, so I had to hang up. Otherwise, I don't want to talk about something else. You're just quiet on the phone. Silence is one of the most defining language. Don't pay attention when people don't talk. That's a dangerous person. The ones that don't talk and don't acknowledge, don't say that's me. Thank you for telling me the truth. Don't try to justify it. Just say, hey, I received that. Then we can go on and talk about something else. When God comes to people, he's not trying to hurt you. He's trying to help you. I can't say that you make my job difficult. My job is the easiest one on the planet to tell you the truth. You the one got issues. Here it comes, baby. You say, I looked at your face, I thought, huh? Yeah. Here it comes. This is truth. Be honest with yourself. Go inside and say, Lord, take that away. And mean it. And thank you for my pastor. Thank you for my pastor who loves me enough to tell me the truth. Nobody loves you who won't tell you the truth. Anybody lie to you, they don't love you. You got to know, but you know, this is good for me. I may not have thought of myself in that sense, but thank you. I feel better. I receive it. I told, where's Ethel? She in here? Hey, babe. I told Ethel, she had called me and told me something on the phone, which I can't get into. And a little bit later, I called back. I said, Ethel, you better get rid of that. She thought she was okay. I said, you better get rid of that. I said, now this is what's going on. A, B, C, D, E, F. Get rid of it. Now to you, you may feel fine, but this is why you're where you're at. This is what's causing this. This is what's producing this. And she cried and cried and cried and went and prayed and come back and said, Mom, thank you. I never saw it. I'm supposed to see what you ain't going to see. I'm supposed to see and then tell you. That's my job. And there wasn't no fighting it or coming back with a bunch of junk. Not going to do it. Just took it. Begin to weep immediately because the light is on my soul, on how I'm feeling. And I didn't even know it was this. And God took it away as he will take it away from you if you are honest with him. Just be honest. Say what's right. Even we don't like nobody to know that about ourselves. We try to cover that. Don't cover it. You never get nowhere. Okay? I hope somehow that the people in this church is taking it serious when it comes to your soul. If we live to be 100 years, which most of us won't, the only thing that's going to save you is that I never lied to nobody about who I was. I didn't do that. I'm probably tougher on my kids than I am anybody. I don't give them a chance. Because you should know. You live with me. You with me every day. Do not expect me to take that. I'm not going to. I'm not in a position where I dislike Yolanda. I don't dislike her. Get on the back seat. That's a good place to send people. I thought that's where the chastisement is going to be, back seat. If they've been up front, that's a whole different story sitting at the back of that church. You see everything going on. People moving, babies crying, getting up, down. You see all this stuff. That's where you need to go. So a lot of more people be on the back seat. Take the back seat. If it wasn't a shame, I would put Backsliders Row with a sign right behind it. But somebody else might sit there. They may not have a place to go, so somebody may sit there and say, Backsliders Row. So I can't do it, but I'd love to do that. But it wouldn't be wisdom to do it. Because I don't know where somebody else going to sit there. If I ask you something, before you answer me quick, wait. Most time people say, no, they're lying. Don't answer fast, but answer. Answer. This is what it is. I don't think I've ever had to rebuke Angel in this church ever. Just once. Huh? You say what? More than once? I don't remember one time. And I came down. I won't say I didn't come down hard because I was hard on that. And she said, Mom. I said, don't call me Mom, I'm not your mother. Yeah. I've been calling her Mom all the time. Why can't call you Mom? Calm down. You'll be all right. I love you. Every time my grandmother hit me, she said, I love you. I'm doing this because I love you. You think I believed her? I thought, right, you love me while you beating the crap out of me. Yeah, I needed to crap out. Yes. God is trying to get you ready for the kingdom. The Lord told me many years ago, he said, the ministry that I've given you is for preparation for the kingdom. It's not about all this Bible history. Because ain't none of that going to make one difference to whether you right or wrong. How many children this one had, that had, it's Mars next. Teach them about getting to the kingdom. And if they don't do it, what's going to keep them out? That's what this ministry is about. Now, somebody else may come along and do something different, but I'm talking about what he called me to do. That they may be prepared for the kingdom. I don't want them to be lost. Prepare them for the kingdom. This is what I gave you. I'm going to let you see. I'm going to let you hear. Prepare them for the kingdom. That's why you get the message coming from this pulpit that's coming. It's about preparation. It's about being sure you're ready. It's about getting this stuff off of you. Get that off of you because you got to get rid of that. If I let it stay on and don't clear that stuff off. Oh. And Gwen, I have an appreciation for you. Because you finally got to that place. And I pray that you stay there. Got to that place. I'm not going to fight it. Do you know how happy you are when you don't fight truth? That's true. I don't want Sister Rose to know that about me. God knows what's in you. And I surely see you for who you are. But it don't take away love. Some things are hard to accept. But once you get it, you got it. Paul said, examine yourselves. He did this when they was getting ready to do communion. But listen to this. Examine yourselves whether you be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Jesus Christ is in you, except ye be reprobates. He said, examine yourself. Are you still saved? Are you right in your heart? Do you really love God? You can say that. But do you really love him? Examine. Go inside. And say, Lord, you know what? I'm going to quit making up these stories. I noticed that people who will not receive it, don't take it. I'm not taking that. But Mom, no. This is true. It's the bigger the pride, the harder it is to take it. A humble person will say, that's the truth. You know I'm going to pray about that. Ask the Lord to take that away and fix me. Humble does that. That's how you know you're not humble. Oh, you got on the boxing gloves the time I come. I say, I'm here. Hey, wait a minute. Because I'm ready for you. Whatever you come with, because she don't know how to come to people with good stuff. I told a lot of people good stuff. Yes, I have a lot of people. Everything, but no matter what, it's going to help you. I could go to Juana and say to her anything. And she would say, Mom, I'm going to pray and ask God to fix that. I told the Lord, no, I'm not being this way. Good spirit. Come on back and talk to me right afterwards. My other two daughters are a little bit different. Lisa and Anita, and Lisa and Necia say they don't talk at all. One says after Mama finished talking to you and taking you through, just go back in and start talking. That's what I do. Take them a while, try to get this. Like I don't want to be bothered. I said, come on in. I love you. I'm trying to figure out how do you. Because the love of God. I said, come on in. I'm not mad at anybody. I told you really tough and really hard. But I'm done with it. I love you. You're my kids. But if you wasn't my kids, I still love you. Come on in. You see people tipping around. P is another good one. I don't care what I tell him. If I call him on the carpet, Mama, Thanks, my mama. Get rid of that. Just as sweet as he can be. Couldn't say a negative word about him at this point. I can't. Let's hope this point still stands. Because I may call him tomorrow and hit something. But I'm telling you, for the most part, never. Never. And say, here it is. He's going to take it. Eyes closed up like a Chinese. Mama, pray for me then. Pray for me. Serious. Sweet. I just love P. We're never probably going to get rid of him, but we will when the Lord gives him a wife. He's going to give him a wife. I said, Lord, before you take me home, give P a wife. One that I can see and approve of it. Please, give him the right person. You know what to do. That's important to me. My children, when they go through these difficult times and they're dealing with who they are, because difficult times pushes out what's in you. You're going through a lot of suffering, a lot of pain, a lot of disappointment. Heart is hurting. It pushes all those kind of things out. Let it. It's purging you, cleaning you up. You're going to be a better person because of it. The day they bring me into this church for the last time, nobody is going to be able to say that I got any man or woman's blood on my hands. Nobody. That time will come. Paul said, I'm not guilty of any man's blood. Well, I declared the whole counsel. Here it is. And God, I hope that anybody that comes behind me with this ministry will follow the same example. Just speak the truth. If they leave the church, that's okay. Speak it anyway. If they don't like you, speak it anyway. If they lie on you after the fact, speak it anyway. Let's be honest with God. I'm not going to cover things no more. I'm going to be upfront. And the greatest hurt to yourself is when you don't acknowledge it. You need to acknowledge this. What you just said is true. I never thought about it that way, but it's true. You're going to become a better person. I despise a liar. My grandma used to say, a person that lie, they'll steal, they'll do anything because they figure they can lie their way out of it. Just so you know what? Starting from this night, I'm just going to say the truth. I know some of the things in me are not right. I'm not up to par, but I'm going to just say the truth. Do that. You make it a lot easier to pastor you when you accept it than when you fight it. And you can't make it difficult for me in the sense of I'm not coming back. I don't want to tell her that. She always gets upset. Really? That's why you need more. Van goes back there and tell his wife. That's why y'all back here. If I on the back. Told Dustin, that's why you're on a fast. Well, Van, you played a part. I just didn't move you. But you just ready to tell you that's why you're back. What you done? Ain't nothing worse than a person that's a part of it looking at you saying, that's, y'all need to get your stuff together. There's only one Van. I kid you not. There's one Van. But I love him to pieces because he just might say anything. I sure would hate that you was a part of it too. Yeah, that's what you need to do. Get yourself together. Get yourself together because y'all. Like he said to me in the meeting, I know you're on my side. No, I'm on the right side. whoever's right and whoever's wrong, I'm not on their side. Just take this message and say, and you're going to be tested very soon on it. I guarantee you, you're going to be tested very soon on this message. How'd you handle it? What did you do? Did you have a good spirit? Or you just got mad? That's not me. It is you. I don't know what she's talking about. Talking about you. Because I've never been that kind of person. Never. Long as I can remember. God's going to come and get you, and he will knock you down until you lay down. He's not going to take it away. Not by a long shot. Take this message. So you know what? Starting tonight. You never know if I'll call you tonight. Get home with that. The Lord speaks at any given time. I got to call them. You in this message, he's telling you, be honest. Be upfront. It's a lot easier. You don't have no leftover stuff